Hello everyone, welcome again to another Narc Survivor live video. In this one, I'm going to be revealing to you how to repel a narcissist, how to protect yourself against them once and for all. If that sounds good to you, please hit the thumbs up button down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hit subscribe, click all notifications to be notified when I go live again in the future. And for one-on-ones, just go to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. Now let's get into this message. This will repel a narcissist. First, let's look at what doesn't repel a narcissist. What is it that gets you caught up with them, gets you involved with them? What is it about you where they're constantly on you to where they just won't leave you alone? They're all over you like a rash. They're on you like a fly, a pest, and they just won't ever go away. What is it about you that causes them to do that? Let's go back to the beginning of the relationship. They manipulated you. They mirrored you. They reflected your own qualities and virtues back to you. In the beginning, they made it about you. Or at least they made it seem that way. And then that's how they managed to lure you in. But what is it that kept them around? It's that you kept feeding your energy to them. You were giving them your power. You were giving them your attention, your validation. You were making them feel good about themselves. You were giving them whatever they wanted, whatever they needed. You were at their beck and call. When they said jump, you said how high. You did whatever they asked you to, whenever they wanted you to do it. You were always there for them. And that's really what kept them around. That's the only reason why they were there. Because you made it all about them. And that's all a narcissist really needs you to do. So maybe you've already dealt with one narcissist and you want to know how to avoid them in the future. Well, this is it. You've clicked on to the right video, because this will repel a narcissist. To attract a narcissist, to have them around you, to get them obsessed with you, addicted to you, all you really have to do is make it all about them. They are an actor, they're the star of the show, and they need you to be their audience. They need your eyes and ears at all times. They need you to be constantly thinking about them, attending to them, being whatever they need whenever they want you to be it. Whenever they want you to do whatever they want you to do, and however they want it to be done. So that's really what they want from you. They just want you to make it all about them. They want to be the earth, and they want you to be the moon. They want you to orbit them. They want to be the center of your world. They want your world to revolve around them. They want all of your attention. They want you to not have any boundaries, to abandon yourself, to not even consider your own feelings, wants, and needs, and to not expect them to reciprocate anything back to you for all of the time, energy, effort, money, and resources that you're giving out to them. They want you to be okay with nothing, with getting nothing back, while you're constantly giving out everything that they want from you, which, as we know, is their narcissistic supply. Attention, validation, admiration, propping up their false self, making them feel powerful and important, desirable and attractive. Yes, they want you to do all of that for them. They want you to be their audience. They want you to prop them up. But they don't want to reciprocate anything back to you. And you could be doing things for them for months or even years. But even just one time, if you ask or request anything from them, it will cause a narcissistic injury, and they will get very angry. And they will begin devaluing you and lining up a new source of supply to take your place. Someone else to prop them up. Someone else to put them on a pedestal. Someone else to worship them and be their fool. Because that's all they really want. That's all they're really looking for. And once you're no longer willing to do that for a narcissist, you become a lost cause. They no longer need you. Because the way they see it, there's always another fool, another doormat just around the corner. So why do they need you? As far as they see it, you're replaceable. You're expendable. So that's really what they want, is for someone to make it all about them. All about their feelings, their wants, their needs. And not make it about yourself. Not make it about what you want, what you need, your feelings. Not make it about anything to do with you. And to just abandon yourself. And just put all of your focus onto them. Cater to them. Give them what they need. Give them their narcissistic supply. Money, a place to stay. Or whatever else it is that they may want in that moment. So that's really what causes them to come around you. That's what attracts them to you. That's what keeps them there. That's what makes them obsess over you. That's what makes them addicted to you. Is that you were willing to make it all about them. But it does go deeper than that as well. Because it's not good enough for a narcissist just to have any person making it about them. Especially these days, they've got social media. Some narcissists could have thousands of followers, thousands of likes and comments on their pictures and videos. So what they really want is someone who is powerful, attractive, and successful, who has all of these things going on in their life. They've got a great job, a business. They're self-motivated, disciplined, hardworking. They've got it all going on in their life. They're doing things. They've built something for themselves. A narcissist wants to gain access into that type of person's life and make that person make it all about them. And of course, especially in today's world, that's pretty difficult to do. Because most people who work hard, they're disciplined, they're powerful, successful, attractive, most of those people aren't going to be empaths. Many of them are going to be highly narcissistic. They're going to be all about themselves as well. So for a narcissist to find someone who's not only powerful, attractive, and successful, but is also an empath and is also willing to rearrange their life and everything in it and make it about them. And yet we wonder why they stuck around, why they became obsessed with us, addicted to us. That's why. Because we're very rare. Yes, there's plenty of fools, simps out there who will put these narcissists on a pedestal. They will worship them. But those people, most of them don't have anything going on in their lives. They're not powerful, they're not successful, they're not hardworking, they're not physically attractive. But if you possessed all of those qualities, and not only that, but you were empathic, you were willing to make it about them, and it was genuine, it wasn't just like the stereotypical nice guy who manipulates people in order to get their needs met. It was deeper than that with you, because you actually cared about them. Many of you, you felt like you loved them. You wanted to be there for them. You wanted to give them the world. You wanted to give them everything you had. So you were empathic, and not only that, you were powerful, successful, and attractive. And you were willing to make it all about them. And that's very rare. And that's why they targeted you. That's why they became obsessed with you. That's why they couldn't leave you alone. Because that is a very potent source of supply for a narcissist. They're not too bothered if it's just an average person who praises them, puts them on a pedestal. They're not too bothered about that. But when it's someone who is powerful, influential, a leader, a successful person, someone who's attractive, when they are getting supply from that type of person, it's a completely different thing, a completely different league, a completely different game altogether. And that's why they get obsessed with these types of people. And that's why I've seen so many times that many victims of narcissistic abuse, typically the ones who are in the long-term relationships with them, those are the ones who are successful, powerful, and attractive. Those are the ones they want to keep by their side. The other types of supply that they have, the secondary sources, they're not really too bothered about them at all. They don't really care if they're attractive or not, if they're powerful or successful. That doesn't really matter. In fact, some narcissists, you may be taking care of them, and then they'll go and seek out a secondary source, and they'll be the ones who are taking care of that source. Because they're not bothered about that when it comes to a secondary source. But when it comes to a primary source, they want the best of the best. They want someone who is powerful, attractive, successful. And not only that, but empathic as well, so that they can make it all about them. But finding that in today's world is very rare. Because as I said, most people who are powerful, attractive, and successful, they're typically not empathic. And many of them are highly narcissistic. So that's not going to be too good for the narcissist. Although sometimes you can have two narcissists who are manipulating each other, both feeding into a shared fantasy, and neither of them realize it. And they'll typically target people outside of the relationship, fooling and deceiving them into validating this illusion of their what's meant to be an ideal relationship. So that's typically what happens when two narcissists get together. In order for them to sustain it long term, they have to target people outside of the relationship in order to get supply, although sometimes they'll also turn against each other as well. So now we know what attracts these narcissists, what keeps them around you, why they won't leave you alone. Now let's get into what it is that actually will repel the narcissist. But before I get into it, I see we've only got 16 thumbs ups there and over 150 live viewers. So if you're finding this information helpful so far and you're ready to hear about what will repel these narcissists, please hit that thumbs up button down below. I appreciate it. All right, here it is. We've talked about what attracts them, what keeps them around you, what makes them obsess over you. Now, what repels them really is your self-love. That is your greatest defense against them. It attracts them when you make it about them. What pushes them away, what gets rid of them, is when you make it about yourself. When an empath, a codependent, takes a leaf out of the narcissist's book and you become more focused on yourself, on your own feelings, on your own wants, your own desires, your own needs, what matters to you, what's important to you, your own dreams, goals, and ambitions. When you focus on all of that, the narcissist begins to lose interest. They don't want to be around you so much anymore. Or if it's earlier on in a relationship, they will just ghost you. They'll just leave and find someone else, someone who's easier to manipulate. So what happens, if you thought the narcissist was selfish already, if you thought they were already self-absorbed, even while you're making it all about them, you're giving them all of your time, energy, effort, attention, money, admiration, whatever they need, even while you're giving them all of that, they're still making it all about themselves. Even while you're making it all about them. But when you change and you make it all about yourself, or at least more about yourself, they're just gonna, and they may just disappear for a few days. They may ghost you, give it the silent treatment, just flat out discard you. And then they'll find someone else, someone who's easier to manipulate, someone who is more susceptible to their agenda and what they're trying to accomplish, which, as we know, is to dominate and control so that they can extract that narcissistic supply. So that's really what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to accomplish. And once they've been around us, they've been around someone who is powerful, successful, and attractive. And not only that, but empathic as well. They can become very arrogant, entitled, and delusional, thinking that if they got with us, then maybe they can find something better. But actually, no, they typically don't. Only 1% to 2% of the world's population are empaths. And just think about it. How many of those 1% to 2% are powerful people, successful, intelligent, attractive? How many of them can give them the type of supply that they got from you? That's how rare you are. That's how unlikely it is that they will ever find another empath. And that's typically why a lot of narcissists these days, I mean, we've only got to look at celebrities or just look at these couples on social media. You can see that times have changed. It's not how it used to be, where typically the stereotypical grandiose narcissist, they would be with an empath. They would be with someone who's calm, shy, quiet, submissive, loyal to them no matter what. That's the type of person a grandiose narcissist would be with. But now if you look at celebrities these days, or couples on social media, what we see now is two grandiose narcissists in a relationship together. And it's because the internet, social media, these things have made this possible for them. It's made it possible for two grandiose narcissists to manipulate and deceive each other, as well as their fan base, their following as well. And the two grandiose narcissists who are together, they may not even realize that they're both being fooled. And all of their following may not realize psychosis. It's a shared delusion, a shared fantasy with many people involved. When the reality is that it's actually just two people who both make it about themselves. But in some ways, they may share the same objectives in gaining and extracting that narcissistic supply. And then that's how they manage to stay together. Well, at the same time, there may also be a lot of arguments and fights that people don't see behind the scenes. And this is with celebrities and social media couples. But of course, it also operates on a smaller scale as well. In certain towns or communities, groups or gatherings, whatever it may be. So this is what's happening a lot these days, because empaths are very rare. And with all of the media we have now, we have all of these movies, television shows, all of these things that people can watch and learn how to be, how to act, how to attract someone, how to be charming and charismatic. People don't have to observe other people in real life anymore. So these narcissists and psychopaths, these days they are really expert manipulators more than ever before, because there's all of this media they have access to. And they can just sit in their homes and just turn on the TV or go on YouTube. They can find someone who is empathic or someone who's pretending to be empathic, and they can model that person's facial expressions, tone of voice, body language, their interests, their behaviors. They can model all of that, and they can quite easily fool another narcissist, because narcissists are very gullible as well. They can quite easily be sold a dream. And this is how many of you may have noticed with the narcissist that you were dealing with. you may have seen, as this is what happens a lot. Because towards the end of the relationship, they devalued you, they were putting you down, they treated you with contempt, they made you feel like you weren't good enough. All of these things were wrong with you. So you were bad. And they went out and told everyone about it. They smeared your name. They assassinated your character, damaged your reputation. They did all of these things to you. Made you feel like you were nothing. So what do you think they do after leaving you? Who do you think they find? Who do you think they run into? Of course, someone more grandiose. Someone who puts on a show, acts like they're the savior. They're this person that they need. They're this person who's so much better than you, who's everything that you're not, who's going to be everything that you never were. That's the type of person they typically run into after leaving you. A master manipulator. And yet many of you, you wonder now why narcissists typically don't come back. When they discard you, you don't see them again. And the reason why is because you, as an empath, a genuine, authentic person, and there's all of these master manipulators out there in the world today. These con artists, other narcissists. It doesn't matter how great you are, how much you tried. You're not going to be able to compete with that. You can't compete with these con artists out there. These master manipulators, they've been doing this stuff for years. It's how they survive their entire lives. You can't compete with those types of people. And those are the types of people who are going to be manipulating the narcissist that you are with. They're going to be selling them a dream. They're going to be pulling the wool over their eyes. And that's why many times you won't get a Hoover. You won't see the narcissist again, because they're out there in this world where these days narcissism is prevalent. 1 in 6 people are narcissists. 7 to 10% of the population are psychopaths. And yet we wonder why so many of us, we're single, we're alone, we don't have a relationship. And it's because we can't compete. We're genuine, authentic people. We're more innocent and naive. We never learned how to manipulate. We are low in cognitive empathy and high in affective empathy. So we can feel another person's feelings, but we can't read into them, we can't manipulate them. We can't predict what they're going to do. We can't be 2 steps ahead of them at all times. But there's a lot of people out there who can. They can do that. And so it's very easy for them to come in and manipulate a narcissist such as the one that you were with. And yes, narcissists in the beginning, they make it all about you. That's how they lure you in. And that tactic is very effective on other narcissists. Because narcissists, they want someone to make it all about them. And there's plenty of manipulators, plenty of other narcissists out there who will do just that. But if you want to repel the narcissist, you do need to make it more about yourself. Because when you do that, they're not going to stick around. They're going to find someone who will make it more about them. And yet, of course, the odds of them running into another empath are extremely rare. Even if they do, they're just going to screw it up as they did with you. So the odds are, and as we typically see with celebrities these days, social media couples, it's just two grandiose narcissists together. That's all that it is. It's two people manipulating each other. They're in a shared fantasy, a shared delusion, shared psychosis. And all of the other people they're manipulating, their family, their friends, their following, their fan base, they're all a part of this mass psychosis. That's all that it is. It's all a delusion. And what you don't see is all of the fights, all of the arguments. It's two people making it all about themselves, separate from each other. There's no connection, no intimacy. And that's why when you see the narcissist move on, there's no need to be jealous about anything. You're not missing out on anything at all. It's just two narcissists manipulating each other, selling each other a dream. They're both using each other. There's no connection, no intimacy. They pretty much don't even know that the other person is even there. That's how low their awareness and consciousness is. Unlike with us, and that's how we kind of project our own personal experience there. Because when we were with them, we were genuinely making it all about them. We were catering to them. We were there for them. And it was genuine. It was real intimacy on our end. But it's not like that for them. And in fact, they don't even care about that. All they care about is their narcissistic supply. They're not interested in giving anything out. Remember, they got with you, they stuck around you because you made it all about them. They weren't interested in making anything about you. They didn't care about your feelings, your wants, your needs. So wherever they go, there's no connection, there's no intimacy, there's no nothing. It's just a void, it's a black hole. There's nothing there. That life, that power, that energy, that enthusiasm, that was all you. They were just mirroring it back to you. Giving you lies, future faking, making you believe in something that wasn't even real, something that didn't even exist. That's all that was. And when you realize that, it's much easier to detach. It's much easier to disconnect from whatever they may be doing, from whatever you may see on their social media. It just doesn't matter anymore. When you realize that they are self-absorbed, it really is all about them. It's nothing about you. It's nothing about anyone else. We're just objects. They don't see us as real people. We're mirrors to reflect back to them how they want to see themselves and feel about themselves. And that's as deep as it goes. But yeah, they steal these things from what they see on television or in movies, or they steal it from us. This ideal love, intimacy, a connection, things that they never really cared about, but they will use it as a part of their manipulation. Especially after discarding you, they will use that to punish and hurt you, to make you believe that you are wrong. And in fact, no, now they've got that with someone else. But here's the thing. This is how you catch them out on that. Because this is what narcissists and psychopaths typically do. They put on a show just to then observe your reaction to it, to see if you're validating it, to see if you believe in it, because that's all they really care about. That's what matters to them, is your reaction. They want to know, is it credible? Is it believable? Because then it validates the illusion, it props up their false self. But even then, it's not that they're concerned about you. There's no connection with you or your reaction or what you think or what you feel about them. It's just all about how they want to see and feel about themselves. And that's all it ever is about. That's all that ever really matters to them. Other people are not included. It's all about them. And it's never about anyone else. And to go even deeper into it, it's not even about them. They discarded their true self a long time ago. They created a false self. It's all about their false self. It's all about something that doesn't even exist. It's all a fantasy, a false reality. And they never want to have to deal with reality. They never want to have to deal with that. So I hope you followed me on that. I know it does get quite deep where we're speaking about the narcissist false self. But that's really what it is. That's really what's going on with them. That's really what's happening in their minds. And that's how they're so self-absorbed. And it's like, when you look back, I just think about, when did you ever even sit down and have a conversation with them? When did they ever even take an interest in you? And that's when you should realize that, yes, it really is all about them. And everything outside of them, they're just managing it like pawns on a chessboard. They maneuver things around in order to create this effect that they want, so that they can see themselves in the way that they want to be seen. Because people and things, whatever it is, we're all just mirrors to create this reflection for them of how they want to be seen. And that's as deep as it goes. That's all that it is. And that's why, if you want to repel a narcissist, stop making it all about them. Stop giving them that mirror reflection that they want, so that they can continue to use you to prop them up and live in this delusional false reality. And instead make it all about yourself. And it will repel them. They've got to find someone else, some fool who they can use as a mirror to reflect back to them how they want to be seen, based on the effectiveness of their manipulation. That's all that it is. And that's why the best thing you can do to repel them is to make it more about yourself. Focus on your feelings, your wants, your needs, everything that they never cared about. And watch them fade away. Watch them fizzle out. And then you will know, you will realize that it was all fake. None of it was real. They never cared about you. They never took an interest in you. You never mattered. No one ever matters to the narcissist. Their own true self never mattered to them. And by knowing that, you should know that you never had a chance with them. You never had a chance at a future, a relationship, a marriage, children. You never had a chance at any of that. Because even their own true self, they abandoned it in order to extract supply, because that's all they care about. It's this false image. That's the only thing that matters to them. And in order to sustain it, they were willing to abandon not only themselves, but reality as well. And that's why when you try and bring the truth or reality to them, what happens? They get mad, they go insane. They try to destroy you, ruin your life, assassinate your character, damage your reputation, get you fired from your job, target you financially, talk about you behind your back, smear your name, whatever they have to do to sustain this false reality. Because that's all that matters to them. They live in this world inside their heads with a population of 1, or is even 1, because they don't even exist. Their true self died a long time ago. All they have is their false self. They're not even really there. They're an empty vessel, an empty meat suit. It's just a void, a black hole. And it will suck the life out of you in order to sustain something that doesn't even exist. Something that has no basis in reality. So yeah, that's it. That's all you got to do to repel these narcissists. Stop being a vessel for them. Stop being a mirror. And instead, focus on your feelings, wants, and needs. Your desires, goals, and ambitions. Make it more about you and watch them fade away. Watch them fizzle out. Watch them disappear. Watch them ghost you, give them the silent treatment, discard you. They will get rid of you. Because that's all they need, is that mirror. That's all they need, is someone to prop up their false self and their false reality. So that's it. That's what I've got to say for this one. Almost fell over then. But yeah, I hope you found this information helpful. And if you did, you can show your support by giving it a thumbs up down below. You can also support our community by donating, by going to my PayPal. It is paypal.me/Narc Survivor. Let me know your thoughts about what I've said in the comment section down below. I read your comments every day, and I try to respond to as many as I can. Hit subscribe and click all notifications to be notified when I go live in the future. And if you'd like to book a call with me, just go to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. And also follow me on Instagram. I just uploaded a video today from my stay at a hotel last year in Sri Lanka. It's already got over 5,000 plays. You can see that on there, as well as much more content of my travels. Follow me on Instagram. It is Narc Survivor YouTube. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you all. And I look forward to speaking with you in another live video very soon.